Let me ask you something. You have a friend, smart person, responsible. Every single month, without fail, they move a portion of their paycheck into a savings account. They've been doing this for 5 years. They feel good about it, proud even. And honestly, they should feel proud. Most people can't even do that. But here's the part that should make you stop and think. After 5 years of disciplined saving, they check their account. And the number, it's almost exactly what they put in. Maybe a little more thanks to a tiny bit of interest. But when you account for inflation, for the fact that everything costs more now than it did 5 years ago, they've actually lost purchasing power. They saved perfectly and still fell behind. Now, here's the question. What did they do wrong? Nothing and everything. Because saving is not the destination. Saving is just the first step. And if you stop there, if you never take the next step, your money is quietly, slowly shrinking. Not in your account. On paper, the number goes up, but in real life, in terms of what that money can actually buy you, it's losing ground every single year. Today, we're going to talk about how to make the shift, how to go from being a saver, which is good, to being an investor, which is how wealth actually gets built. Here's the thing about saving. It feels safe, and that feeling is real. When money's sitting in a savings account, you can see it, you can touch it. If something goes wrong tomorrow, your car breaks down, you lose your job, an unexpected bill shows up, the money is right there. That sense of security is not a weakness, it's actually smart. You need that. But here's where most people get stuck. They fall in love with the safety of saving. They keep adding to that savings account month after month, year after year, and they tell themselves, when I have enough, I'll invest. Enough. That word is doing a lot of work there. Because enough never really arrives. When you have 5,000 saved, enough feels like 10. When you have 10, enough feels like 20. The goalpost keeps moving, and the whole time, inflation is quietly doing its job, making every dollar you've saved a little bit less powerful than it was the year before. There's also a psychological thing happening here that's worth naming. Investing feels scary in a way that saving doesn't. When you save, you're in control. When you invest, you're handing some of that control to the market, to something uncertain, something that can go down. And our brains, they hate that. Psychologists call it loss aversion. The pain of losing money feels about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same amount. So naturally, we avoid the thing that might hurt us, even if avoiding it is actually the thing that's slowing us down. The result is that millions of people are trapped in the middle. Not reckless spenders, but not real wealth builders either. Just savers, stuck in place. So let's break this down. What does it actually mean to turn saving into investing? And how do you do it without feeling like you're taking a huge leap off a cliff? Think of it like this. Saving is storing water in a bucket. Every month you add more water. The bucket gets fuller. That's great. You need water. But investing is like connecting that bucket to a river. The river keeps flowing, adding more water even when you're asleep, even when you're not paying attention, even when you're on vacation. The bucket alone can hold what you put in. The river can grow far beyond what you could ever add yourself. That river is called compound growth, and it is genuinely one of the most powerful forces in personal finance. Here's a simple example. Say you have two people. Both start with $10,000 at age 25. Person A puts it in a savings account earning 1% interest per year. After 35 years, when they're 60, they have about $14,000. Person B puts it in a diversified investment account averaging 7% per year, which, historically, is roughly what broad stock market index funds have returned after inflation. After 35 years, they have over $76,000. Same starting point, same amount of time, completely different outcome. The difference isn't talent, it isn't luck, it isn't even how much they worked. The difference is where they put the money. Now let's talk about the actual steps, because knowing this is one thing, knowing what to do is another. Step 1 is separating your money into 2 jobs. Not all your money should be invested. Some of it has a job to do right now, covering emergencies, upcoming expenses, things you need quick access to. Financial planners often suggest keeping 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a regular savings account for this exact reason. That's your emergency fund. It stays liquid, it stays accessible. And yes, it earns almost nothing. That's okay. That's not what it's for. The rest, the money that doesn't have an immediate job, that's the money that should be working for you.
Step 2 is starting small and automating it. One of the biggest mental blocks people have about investing is thinking they need a lot of money to start. They don't. Many investment platforms today allow you to start with as little as $10 or $20. The amount matters less than the habit. In fact, here's a powerful psychological trick. Automate the transfer. Set it up so that on the day you get paid, a fixed amount automatically moves into your investment account. You never see it in your checking account. You never have to make a conscious decision to invest. It just happens. This is called paying yourself first, and it removes the biggest obstacle most people face, themselves. Step 3 is understanding what you're actually investing in. This is where people sometimes freeze up because they think investing means picking individual stocks, watching charts, reading financial news every day. For most people, it doesn't have to be that complicated. There's a type of investment called an index fund. Think of it like buying a tiny piece of hundreds or thousands of companies all at once. Instead of betting on one company to succeed, you're betting on the entire economy to grow over time. Historically, it has. Not every year, not in a straight line, but over long periods, it has consistently gone up. Index funds are simple, low cost, and widely available. They're not exciting, they don't make for great stories at dinner parties, but they work. Here's the deeper idea underneath all of this. Most people think wealth is built by earning more money. And yes, income matters, but income alone doesn't build wealth. What builds wealth is the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and then what you do with that gap. A person earning $50,000 a year who invests consistently can build more wealth than someone earning $150,000 who spends everything. The number on your paycheck is just the starting material. What you do with it is the actual craft. There's also a psychological shift that happens when you move from saving to investing. When you're a saver, money is something you hold on to, you protect it, you guard it. When you become an investor, you start to see money differently. You start to see it as something that can grow, multiply, and generate more of itself. Money stops being just a tool for spending and becomes a tool for building. That shift in mindset is worth more than any single financial decision you'll ever make. And here's something that almost nobody talks about. The best time to invest is not when the market is doing well. It's not when the economy is strong and everyone is optimistic. The best time, in a counterintuitive way, is when things look uncertain, because that's when prices are lower. That's when you're buying at a discount. The people who got rich from the stock market didn't get rich by timing it perfectly. They got rich by staying in it consistently through the ups and the downs and letting time do the heavy lifting. So what should you actually do differently after watching this? First, check what you have in savings. Figure out what portion of it is your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses, and mentally separate it from the rest. Second, open an investment account if you don't have one. In most countries, there are tax-advantaged accounts designed specifically for this: retirement accounts, ISAs, and similar options depending on where you live. These can give your investments an extra boost by reducing the taxes you pay on your gains. Third, choose something simple: a total market index fund or a broad global index fund. You don't need to optimize this. You need to start. Fourth, automate it. Set up a recurring transfer. Make it automatic. Remove the decision from your hands. And fifth, and this is the one most people skip, leave it alone. Don't check it every day. Don't panic when it drops. Don't celebrate too hard when it rises. The investment strategy that works isn't the smartest one. It's the one you can stick to. The biggest enemy of long-term wealth building is not the market. It's you logging in at the wrong moment, making an emotional decision, and undoing years of progress in a single afternoon. Here's how I want to leave you with this. Saving is a skill, and it's a skill worth having. The ability to delay gratification, to live within your means, to set money aside. That's not easy. Most people struggle with it their whole lives. But saving alone is like training for a race and never showing up. You've done the hard work. You've built the discipline. Now you actually have to use it. The step from saving to investing is not a giant leap. It's a small, deliberate shift in how you think about money, in what you do with what you set aside, and in what you're ultimately trying to build. Because here's the truth most people figure out too late. Money doesn't rest. Every dollar you have is either working for you or slowly losing ground to inflation. There's no neutral. There's no standing still. The question is not whether your money is moving. It always is. The question is, which direction? Start investing. Even small, even imperfect, start connecting your bucket to the river. The river doesn't care how late you start. It just cares that you show up.